So you just start your part actually.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So welcome, guys. Today is a very special day for me, and we're launching this podcast segment, and more like can also be video-ish, video vlog. you know. For those that don't know who is talking, this is M.A.X Gulliver.
Yeah, and this IK Ulisakwe, aka Senior Man. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about issues, trending issues, hypotheticals, trying to know what's going on in the web space, internet, you understand? And we're gonna be talking about these um together with Max. And okay, sometimes we might not agree on things, but still we're gonna talk. Okay. So where are we going to? I think we're gonna start with this. So my wife left me because she was chatting with someone on Facebook
Mm.
who made her believe he was better than me. She took half of my property and she left because we were married legally. She spent all her money on this online boyfriend, believing he would marry her.
Child.
But now he has just discovered, or she has just discovered, that the man she trusted isn't who he claimed to be. He was using photos of a famous actor to deceive her. She's now broke, heartbroken, and without a husband. She's begging to come back into my life, but the truth is, I'm not even where I used to be financially because she left with half of everything. Now I'm confused. Should I take her back or let her live with her decision? What should I do? Okay.
Wow,
Um, do you understand the question?
that's a very serious one. Why?
Okay.
Why did she leave? Okay, she left because of what again?
Somebody was deceiving her online
Oh
on Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah. So somebody was deceiving her online, and she believed the person was using a fake picture, of course.
fake people. Oh,
Yeah, a picture
catfish.
of she was catfish. Yeah. So she believed him and left her husband.
Shit,
Now she discovered the guy was deceiving her, and he has left her. Now she's unmarried, and she wants to come back to the husband.
that's tough.
So my question is there any child? Does she have any children? Did she live with the
Did she
children,
leave?
and is she coming back with the children?
Yeah.
So
So let's
that's still
let's
part of
assume maybe they have one child
okay, let's assume they have one child, and maybe it's with the
with the
husband.
husband, obviously.
Yeah. So
This
will you
is
accept her back?
hmm.
Maybe because of that child.
So why is she coming back? So she's coming back because she realized that if she was not catfished,
Yeah,
she wouldn't have come
she
back.
wouldn't have come back. Yeah.
And if all the dreams of that person, what the person was actually putting out
Yeah.
as what she could get, because sometimes I don't know if some people are gullible or more than some other people, but like I mean,
What was he offering?
oh yeah, so if that was what she was going to get, that means she wouldn't have come back. She came back because she fell flat on her face, realizing that I got catfished. I have to go back to my man. Now there are even scenarios where they even go. Turns out she wasn't even being catfished. But then sometimes it's not greener on the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah. See
And
that the
then
guy was pretending
the
to be
guy,
rich. Maybe he was pretending to be rich,
yeah, and
richer than the husband, and she finds
um,
out that he stayed in face me, appease you. Yeah.
and that's a tough
So
decision.
yeah,
A very tough decision. If that's the reason, that means she can live again. I don't think
she can live again. If
yeah,
she left us, she can still
she
live
can
again.
still live
What if
again.
she finds another guy? Because not every time that business will be going well.
Yeah.
You understand? At some point, business can be bad, and then she will find one maybe rich guy or a guy that's pretending to be rich, and then she leaves you again.
And she took
Half of his
half
property.
of his
You understand?
property.
How do I let that kind of thing
Let's see if
back
she's
into my
coming
life?
back to give me my half back.
Yeah. So I
She'll
might
come back.
accept if you give me my half, or maybe with interest.
Yeah,
So
we're coming back to find out how can I get back that money, without signing any document.
yeah, you understand? So
It's
it's
crazy, man.
another issue. It brings us back to um, a trending idea where men are refusing to do court marriages because of these
Because of these
kind of
scenarios,
scenarios.
yeah.
Yeah, they are scared of losing half of their property. You get. So
But then in
will
Africa,
you
okay,
are you supporting the idea of court marriage?
you're putting me on the spot here. I would agree with a court marriage if it is a proper partnership. Because now I think
Mm,
people need to now start removing that marriage name marriage and start calling it partnership.
okay.
It should become business. Since we are going to share half of my property, that means you two have to
This court marriage. There's a loophole. You know, there's a prenuptial
the
agreement.
prenuptial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think if you were in this man's shoes and you were about getting married? Will you really share your property half, or will you sign a prenuptial agreement where you can get to keep your own properties, you get to keep our properties? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What do you think about
No,
it?
that prenup is not bad though.
I swear,
That prenup is
because this divorce thing has messed up a lot of marriages.
honestly.
Women come into marriage not for the long haul. You get, so they come in there wanting to. It's for survival.
It's for
It's
some
mainly for survival.
yeah.
You get.
Like you must be able to provide as a man. You must have this, you
You
must
must
have
be
a car, you
100%
must
at every point. You
have
understand?
everything. Yeah, you cannot be falling short of one or two things. And
Yeah. So
what are they falling in on? Or what are they falling up upward?
yeah.
I'm permitted to say
So
that.
in my own opinion, I feel once I do my traditional marriage,
You
that's
don't
all,
go.
man. That's all. I
Um,
won't. I don't want to fall for this kind of trap.
but then
You
in
get.
Nigeria, do people really split their property just like the
Ah,
Western world? That's another thing.
Nigeria is really fucked up legally. They're really fucked up legally. So does it really work?
Oh yeah, that's really yeah.
Does it really work here?
What does this
Where they say
constitution say? Yeah,
split property, you might just bring out, okay, like you might just say you have only one land when you have
yeah,
10.
then
You
yeah,
understand? She shares half of that one land that you brought out.
because that's what you have. That's what she knows and
So
what's
Nigeria is really fucked up legally. So does it really work? hmm Or it might only work for those that really know their rights and have good lawyers. I mean, women
mm.
that know their rights and have good lawyers, then they can fight for half of the property. But how many women know their rights in order to get that
Another
half?
thing I just thought about is talking
Mm,
about the laws. Because I won't say the laws are fucked up.
mm,
The laws exist. So
yeah.
if people perceive them as fucked up or not,
Mm,
if it comes to you, you have to take whatever comes out of it at the end of the
of
day.
course, yeah.
So but I think in Nigeria is more of a culture thing. People still at the back of their minds still have that cultural perspective of because you're moving into a man's house. It's
Mm,
very ideal in Nigerian environment. So they already know that I'm not the one that worked for most of these things. There's this assumption.
mm,
People that would want to really share are people that you know that okay, the women also worked as much. Even sometimes when they work as much, they might just share one or two things. They might not be
yeah,
full asset splits, like
yeah.
yeah,
You might not,
but
yeah.
they will still cut away with some things. Like I bought that TV, I have my own car, I have to move with
Mm,
my car, even though you're the one that bought it. I still have input, it's still my car,
yeah.
stuff like that. So there's still ways that Nigeria we still find it, just that it's not so outright like the
Mm,
Western world,
yeah, yeah.
like
Where everything is
it's
documented,
documented.
every asset is documented.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um, that's one thing in Nigeria. No, law doesn't work. Law
Hmm.
doesn't work.
No,
But
let
I
the
thank God
lawyers
the
catch
laws don't
you.
work because you would have been fucked up real bad.
Yeah,
So
so sometimes it can be a good thing. It's not like it's not working, but
yeah,
it's working for us
it's working in our
in
favor,
our
in
favor.
the favor of men. Yeah, it's in the favor of men. If it were the Western world now, you see that women will marry just to divorce. You get? They marry in order to
Just not to
divorce and
divorce
collect half of the property. They enter another marriage,
and do the same
divorce,
thing. It
do the
becomes a
same
money
thing.
making
So
venture.
it's a money making venture in the Western world. So I thank God it doesn't work like that in Nigeria. So
Man,
it would have been
I
really
swear.
men now, like in the Western world, women are really they're begging men to come to get married. Men are refusing to get married because they are scared of entering that trap. You get you fall in love with a woman, love of your life. She sees another guy, breaks up with you, collects half, goes and enjoys the half with another
With
guy.
another guy.
Yeah, and then she comes back wanting to. So, um, They're just like
there
that.
was
So
one video I saw online of, I don't know, most people must have seen that video. This man was abroad, and he bought his supposed wife to be, I think already his wife, was it like a Mercedes Benz car, one of those expensive, cars. And then he came to Nigeria a surprise visit, and the lady was using that car to take out another man. Like they were going out on a romantic occasion. And then he caught them and started shattering the glasses and breaking everything. And I was like, guy, I know you can buy this car again, but why they break this glass now? But that's to show you how it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, talking about glass breaking.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So can you remember this video or where or should I there's a footballer
Okay.
where he was or his wife was divorcing him in order to
Yeah.
collect half of the
Half of
property. Then she finds out he willed like all his properties is in his mom's name. Yeah. And then the woman had to share half property with the guy because he didn't have anything. You understand? All his properties are in his mom's name. She had to share her property.
That story was viral.
Yeah,
It was viral.
it went viral that time.
I'm sure some other footballers have tried to do the same thing.
Yeah. Some other like I think one other footballer did the same thing.
The same thing, right?
That footballer or basketballer,
yeah.
Did something like that. So men are already coming up with tactics to combat this lifestyle, of sharing properties and all that. We hope everything works out for them anyway.
Eventually.
So this my guy. So
I want to ask
assuming continue.
Okay, my question is marriage partnership or a romantic affair or both of them? Because then, if we're calling it if you go into business, right? When you're speaking of partnership in a business, there's always like types of partners, how they are going to be involved, how they get their revenue or returns on investments or whatever kind of investment that they are making inputs into that business. And you see people when talk about their marriages, they say he's my partner, she's my partner, meaning that they are partnering in something. And looking at it from anything that has to do with partnership means that two people are working on something together. And when you go you go out Monday to Friday, you say you're going to work. And work is money involved, is business and all of that. So that means provision now be, I know provision is a man thing, right? But then we have in today's world where there's now gender equality, men can now take up, women can now take up some men jobs, roles and stuff like that. So should we still turn a blind eye to the fact that women are now part of the circular economy? They are now contributing majorly. Some of them today, we see them, they're even taking positions of CEOs, managing directors. So there's a very high tendency that such person might even be earning more when it comes to providing for the family than some men.
Of course.
You get, and sometimes they might marry, and sometimes the man on one end is probably at a time where he feels like, okay, because it can happen to the woman tomorrow. So should we now look at provision in marriage separate from the traditional term of providing? Because I mean, back then when you say man goes out to hunt, so it's coming to provide to the family.
You understand? The roles were strictly stated.
Yeah.
You understand? Like the woman is meant to cook, wash clothes, give birth to children, and take care of the children. You understand? But now it's not like that anymore. You understand? So we can see a situation where maybe a man gets married to a rich woman. You see the man being the one taking care of the home.
Yeah.
More than because the woman has more money than him. You understand? So I believe there is a partnership and understanding comes into
that partnership. Yeah. People need to be aware that
it's all about understanding, It's all about understanding. So if they understand each other, a man might not even see it as a big deal to be the one cooking.
Yeah.
You understand? If
Yeah.
he knows that the wife is really busy and is really bringing a lot of money to the house, he might not mind as long as there's that understanding. But most of the time, you see a situation where the woman starts to belittle the man.
The man, yes.
In that case, do you understand? Start to belittle the man because of the roles he's taking.
Yes.
The woman is not comfortable with anything different from a man providing. A woman is not comfortable with in any way with that kind of arrangement. A woman will prefer to just sit down and go on vacation. You understand? Enjoy all her man's money. So that's a woman's instinct is to enjoy her man's money. You get so. I believe that the feminist movement is a trap. Is a trap set for women. You understand? It's a trap set for women in the fact that they have decided to start working, but they cannot go the full mile. You understand?
Yeah.
They can't go far in it because it is a man thing to men are more conscientious. You understand? They are more like achievers. Men are more passion driven when it comes to business.
Yes.
You understand? A man can stay overnight at his workplace. A woman is not comfortable with staying overnight at the workplace. She's not comfortable doing a 12-hour shift. If there were a job where she can do a 3-hour shift and go home, she's
She
okay
should
with
be
it.
okay with it.
And look, and she can go home and sleep, look at her children, watch them go to
Go
bed,
to
things
bed,
like that.
yeah.
She's okay. You understand? But being in that business environment where you have to spend all your time at work, they're not okay with it. So what is the use of the feminism movement?
You know,
What is the use?
me, when I heard about, I'm not trying to be sarcastic, right?
Yeah.
But when I heard about the feminist movement, I was like, okay, I did my research, I read what it was all about because I wanted to really understand, what are they really fighting for, even when some people found out that, okay, maybe what this feminist movement are fighting for my kind of lady or my cultural background, as a lady, they will say, I don't really support it. Why some other people are still very big on it. So I think the movement was just for them to actually pick up these roles, be able to do some things because some of them now, like the women go to schools because I was discussing with this particular topic with one of a colleague of mine, Madam Antonia, and she told me that back in the days that people were or didn't let women go to schools. Was like men are supposed to be the one to go to school, women are supposed to just be in the kitchen and
Yeah,
not
be
do any of that,
housewives.
housewives. Women were not really given a lot of social value, and that was what made that movement start. However, people have started turning it into another thing because right now I feel like society has already answered that call. Women are now taking up good roles, but then we cannot remove the nature of a woman and the nature of a man. The nature of a woman is more nurturing than the nature of a man.
Sure.
Yeah, a man is always going to be able to provide more security than a man. A woman may. If a woman is trained, she might be able to provide than some men.
Of course.
Doesn't make her, unable to still do a woman thing. She still needs to be a woman.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
women, you cannot say that God has given you womb, you're going to conceive children. When you're pregnant, you cannot be fighting war. Nobody will let you, even
it's
you
not part
yourself,
of their instinct. It's
do
not
you
part of
understand?
their instinct. Yeah.
You have to stay at home, not take care of yourself. So I don't want us to take it because of we want women to then women now forget that okay, there is a way. So if they really want to be involved, and which it has finally happened, I think some things needs to be redefined when it comes to partnership, when it comes to marriage.
Yeah, limits.
Yeah,
There needs to be some limits to
yeah.
everything. So, in conclusion, um,
I'd like to know
the
what people think about this too.
yeah. So, let's hear what you think in the comment section. You understand? Should the man get back to his wife that left him for a guy that catfished her online? You understand? A guy pretended to be caring and all that, and she left her husband. So then the guy left, or she discovered that the guy was deceiving her, and then she's trying to come back to the guy. Should the husband accept his wife back into the house? You understand? So in my opinion, no, it shouldn't. So Max, what do you think?
I'm also going with no, because I mean, it's given. It's because she was catfished.
Yeah.
It's because
If not, she would
have gone.
succeeded
Yeah.
in living in a die. And I hope that the man bounces back on his
On
feet
his finance,
financially
yeah.
and all that. And really,
Tough
I hope
one.
everything works out. Okay?
Yeah, talking about what's going to be the name of this
Yeah, the name of this podcast. Chat room? The chat room.
the chat room. Chat room is kind of, there was one other name we had, we said that
Talk of the town.
Talk of the Town.
Yeah.
That sounds more like
Talk of the
Talk of the Town.
So what do you think? The chat room,
Talk of the
talk of the
Town.
town.
Drop your suggestions in the comment section.
Let's know what you
Let's see
think.
what it is.
Yeah.